and about us. There we go. So I think we are live now. Sabina, are we?
Just a minute.
Sure. It's very exciting. This is the first of our sessions today, and it's a brand new series. And we are also streaming on Facebook. We will be showcasing this on YouTube as well. And in case you miss any of these sessions or any of the live sessions, please feel free to watch them again on YouTube, on Facebook, and on all our various social media pages. But make sure that you tune in for each one of them. Each subsequent session, we will be having them periodically, and we will be sharing details with you. So don't miss out. We've got some very, very exciting speakers coming up and some very exciting topics that we're going to be talking about. So make sure that you register and you join us for each one of them. So I think we are live now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
I think it's taking a second. I'm sorry. You can.
No worries.
You know, soon.
We're having an especially challenging technical day today. I think even Zoom's just kind of like, you know, it's the end of the week. Let me rest it out. But give us a couple of seconds. Great. I think we've got Simone as well, and we are live. See, things do fall in together. Wonderful. We've got Simone, we've got all our panelists, our speakers, and we've got a wonderful audience. So maybe we can start with Cocoon sharing a little bit about themselves.
Yeah.
So could we play the video?
Yeah.
Kriti, if you can share your screen, please.
Sorry, I was just saying something.
Yeah, we can see your screen now.
Okay.
Yeah.
This page a little bit.
Great. I finally have the pleasure to welcome you all officially now for the first session of In a Cocoon with. We are very, very excited to have all of you here. We've got people who've joined in on Zoom. We've got people who are streaming across social media platforms, and we are very excited to introduce this very special property. It's called In a Cocoon with. It is a series where we will be inviting noted experts to join us in a cocoon and divulge their unique processes and approaches towards thoughtful design. This series has been initiated by Cocoon Fine Rugs, and the objective is to deep dive into themes that are relevant to our creative thinking and creative practice. Cocoon itself as a brand takes pride in innovating and providing platforms for such stalwarts, as well as emerging talent, to share their journeys and experiences with the larger design community. And we couldn't be happier to be associated with an initiative like this and a brand like this. Before I get into who we are and our team that's doing this for Cocoon, I would request Smriti Chaudhary, she is the co-owner and marketing director of Cocoon Fine Rugs, to kickstart the series and share a few words with us. Smriti, the stage is yours.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. We are extremely excited to do this currently. Collaborations have been a huge part of Cocoon's identity. And collaboration for us in the past, we've always collaborated for a design series with various experts from the industry like Ashish Shah, Rushad Shroff, Puran Kumar, and Red Architects, who have designed some excellent and really nice collections for us. Through this, our team has learned a lot, not only in terms of design, but also in terms of, certain ideas, creative thought processes. So we said, why not take this on a larger platform in a bigger environment? Hence, the idea of Design Talk series was born. And it's the first time that we're conducting such a series, and we're extremely excited. And I really thank Mrinalini and Sneha to put this together for us.
Thank you, Smriti. Like I said, we are very excited. Sneha and I have been talking about a lot of things for the past few months, and we have been working together. We've been collaborating together on a couple of ideas, and it's always really interesting to come on board with like-minded organizations and people who think in the same direction, who are curious about design and want to kind of take it further. So we're super excited to collaborate with Cocoon Fine Rugs for this. And we're looking forward to a smashing set of conversations. So a little bit about who Sneha and I are. So Sneha is a trained creative writer, educator, and curator of storytelling experiences, having worked previously with Jaipur Rugs, Godrej Properties, El Decor, Exchange for Media. Her focus currently lies in brand and marketing communication. She enjoys working with design, luxury, retail, real estate, fintech, and social media and social impact brands. I, on the other hand, am a trained architect, and having practiced architecture, lighting design, and history, I have taught at university. I've researched historical narratives and been the founding editor of Mondoarc India and Stir. But my curiosities currently lie in questioning normative mechanisms in the creative community, usually through written and curatorial practices. So while Sneha and I come from very different sort of backgrounds, our interests and our passions are common. And we found this sort of common ground with Cocoon Fine Rugs, and it has been quite a pleasure to put this together. So Sneha, without further delay, I know I have to apologize to everybody for the delay so far, but without further delay, if I could ask you to say hi and also just take it away.
Thanks, Mrinalini. Thanks for that introduction. And thank you, Smriti, for having both Mrinalini and me do this for Cocoon. We're very excited to do this, curate these, what hopes to be a wonderful, insightful series of dialogues and conversations. We're thrilled to have a very special designer with us today. And we believe this is the first time ever she's doing a masterclass webinar like this. So we're truly honored. Designing a comprehensive collection when it comes to luxury furniture, when it comes to decor, takes dedicated research, skill teams, a thorough understanding of market trends, and tipping the scales of both creative aesthetic and function and comfort. Curation involves all of this and a lot more, including a skill that we rarely take for granted, which is relationship building. And we're so happy to have the right kind of expert to actually talk to us about this today. So Simone, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us. Um, Simone, I hope you can hear us. And yeah, Simone, I think there's an audio issue. We can't hear you still. So if you can just quickly look into that, that'll be great. While Simone figures that out with the audio, I'll quickly make introductions. As you may well know, Simone is inspired by beauty and textures of nature. In fact, she is at her store currently. And if you take a look at the store, it's a beautiful space where literally nature meets luxury. Her signature decor style is sophisticated and it's elegant, understated yet luxurious. She brings in all her talent, travel experience, eclectic design sensibilities to bear on her store. Simone the store, which is located in South Bombay in a very beautiful heritage location, it is testimony of this passion. A concept home decor boutique that portrays 30 years of design experience and a keen eye for detail, commitment to quality and perfection. The philosophy that underlines Simone is the aesthetic harmony of nature, a color palette combining earthy tones and textures, vibrant colors, all accentuated by metallic sheens. The store showcases globally sourced products combined in visually attractive settings. So that is Simone. So before we, of course, hand it over to Simone, we would like to do a quick rapid fire with her. So if Simone, can you hear us? All right. While she, yeah, like Pranali rightly said, today is quite the day for technical glitches with us. So please bear with us, but we'll get this sorted very soon. So what we are planning to do before Simone actually does a presentation, we wanted to kind of set the precedent for putting our experts on the spot where we ask them questions about their design style and their expertise and process. Um, so while we wait for Simone, are you able to hear us? Can you give us a few minutes, guys? We will. Yeah, can you hear us now? Are you able to hear us? Yeah, just a few minutes. While Simone sorts out her. Yes, can you hear us? Sabiha, if you can please mute everyone else, all the other participants, please. That'll be great. Thank you. Okay, so while Simone hopefully is able to sort out her issue with the audio, we're gonna launch a quick poll, basically to kind of get your interest on what you would like to know more about her. So we wanted to ask what you would like to know more of Simone. We have a few options to share. We're just going to share that on the chat. What we'd like to hear from you is what you would like to know more of. So if you can just so there are 4 options. You can pick the option that you like. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Just put in the number of your choice in the chat. Yeah. So I'm just going to share that. And if you'd like her to specifically talk about any of the 4 options that you see in your chat screen, in the chat box, please leave in your option. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take the liberty of actually reading out
Yes, please. Yeah.
for everyone
Yes.
in case
Yeah.
people can't access it.
Yeah.
So if you would like to know about Simone, what is it that you'd like to know, right? A or 1, how has she built her business? Number 2, how she manages to stay creative. And we all know that she stays incredibly creative. Number 3, how she straddles between 2 brands, DDecor and Simone. So we know that she runs 2 brands and both of them very, very successfully. So how does she actually manage to balance that? And number 4, what are her favorite projects? So it would be wonderful to know what you guys want to know about, and then we will get Simone to address that.
Just also to add to that, Simone, like most of you know, of course, has her own store in South Bombay, but she also manages a lot of brand and design collections and collaborations as part of T-Decor. So if you'd like to know specifically about either of those two brands, or even the kind of work that she does as a designer and her as a curator, working with not just local brands, but internationally renowned organizations, design organizations. If you'd like to know specifically about that, how she actually goes about curating, going around the world, in fact, having very exclusive access to some of these
Hear me
designers.
now? Can you hear me?
Yes, Simone.
Yes,
Yes, we can hear
finally.
you. Yes.
Finally. Okay. Great.
Lovely. Thanks so much, Simone.
Thank
Lovely to have you with
Sorry,
us.
my apologies to everyone. Thank you.
No worries at all. So yeah, we actually just was talking to everyone here. If they would like to know more about you, we shared a couple of questions that the audience would like to basically vote on. So we're hoping to hear from all of you today. Yeah. So before you actually begin your session, Simone, we wanted to ask you a quick a couple of questions from our side to you. So when it comes to rugs, do you prefer traditional or contemporary rugs?
Well, my favorite are traditional. I prefer traditional, yes, personally.
What kind of traditional rugs do you usually wear for?
Indian Kashmiri rugs, silk,
Right, right,
yes, pure
right.
silk, yes.
Nice. Do you have a preference of material when it
Silk,
comes to rugs?
pure silk, yes.
Raw silk?
Pure, yeah,
Lovely.
pure silk.
Pure
Silk,
silk,
yes.
right. Do you have a preference for shape? Do you prefer like rectangular or circular or irregular shapes? What is your go-to?
Rectangular.
Right. Favorite rug? Do you have like a favorite rug in your home or in your workspace?
Well, my favorite rug is one that hangs on a wall in my parents' home. It's a hunting story, actually, of human figures and animals. So it brings back nostalgic memories.
How lovely. I think Simone, your video is off, so we can see you. That'll be great. Yes. Do you have a pro styling tip when it comes to styling with rugs?
Yes, I like to, mount a silk carpet on a rod with decorative ends and hanging it on a wall like a piece of art. It could even be placed on, on a sofa just as a decorative element, or just thrown on a bed like a light rug just to add a pop of color to the bed. So
I like how unconventional you are with styling rugs and not
these
just,
unusual ways of, showcasing a rug.
yeah, for sure. Do you have a maintenance tip since you experiment so much with the way you place your rugs? Do you have what is the best way to maintain a rug? Do you
Well,
have
I
like
would
a
say vacuum the rug, but definitely don't beat it or roller brush it. That would be the right way to maintain it.
Absolutely. And I think you've already talked about this, but what has been the most unusual purpose or use of a rug in your experience?
Unusual, I like it hung on the wall because you can, study the intricacy of the weaves. You can, it can add a splash of, color to the wall. You can understand the thought, the emotion behind it, the effort the weaver has put into creating that rug. There is sometimes a story in a traditional rug that needs to be told. So through the rug, you can understand it and study it. So this
Lovely.
yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Over to you, Simone. You would like to share my screen, right? For the
Yes.
presentation? Yeah. So
Okay,
I'm going to go ahead and share my.
Technical glitch here. Sorry. Please.
No worries. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to share my screen so you can start.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope everyone can see my screen clearly. And for those who've joined us.
So first, I would like to apologize for the delay in connecting and thank everybody for having me, and very pleased to be on this platform. So let me tell you a little about my Simone journey. The Simone store is located in an iconic heritage building, Amarchand Mansion in Kulaba, South Mumbai, and is spread over 2 levels, 8,000 square feet of retail space. The store houses furniture, decorative artifacts, lights, art, carpets, D-Decor fabrics, a dedicated floor on D-Decor fabrics as well, wall coverings, bed and bath linen, all carefully conceptualized and curated into living, dining, and room spaces. At Simone, we focus on style and affordability, and it's a fusion of modern, contemporary, and classic, which has been creatively cocooned within a charming heritage setting. So as you see, this is a 100-year-old structure, which was acquired in 2012, totally refurbished, restored. And as you can see, there are 3 floors. And just move to the next slide. So we started out the Simone journey with a very natural setting, which was, Simone's philosophy was the harmony of nature. So the first 2 years, we showcased all our home offerings in a neutral palette of earthy tones and textures, accentuated by metallic sheens. The use of driftwood, sand, stone, metal were prominently visible in our home offerings, as you can see. From the 3rd year, we added pops of color. We can go to the next slide. So you can see the driftwood, the stone, etc. And we added this color as these were specific customer requirements. The next slide. And we continued to curate in both the neutral and the colorful palettes. And these changed as and when the products were sold and new merchandise was brought in. So as you can see, there's a fusion of fabrics, furniture, decorative artifacts, all put together through color. And there is a theme or a concept behind each setting. So over the years, we have tried to put as many slides as we could into this presentation. Here you see the branded packaging. So gifts at Simone are carefully, beautifully wrapped in its branded signature packaging, making gifting a whole new experience. So we have the wrapping paper, the ribbon, the boxes, and we cater to all occasions, be it anniversaries, birthdays, and weddings, festive occasions, as per the customer requirement. We even add floral decor to gifting if it's more color is added. So this is the gifting style of Simone. The next slide, you see parts of the store where you have outdoor displayed in one of the slides. You have the bath linen, which is displayed on the other colorful slide. And you have furniture settings. Of course, these have been changing over the years. So as you can see, they, it's a very contemporary feel, but within a heritage setting. So we wanted to, combine the 2 different styles, as you can see in the slides. We move to the next one. Yes, so we have more here, more settings, curated settings, which have changed over time. We've been open 8 years now. So you see the colors, how they, they work well. We've had the gray and the lemons, then you have the nature-inspired dining table, and you have, so splashes of, pops of color with neutral, backdrops, and just to create a little bit of, accents and color in the space. The next slide. And of course, more here. So we have all kinds of colors, as you can see, the aubergine, the turquoise, the gold. We go to the next one. And here we have, of course, 2 levels. Again, this is a neutral palette, which you can see the bed setting, the sofa setting. And of course, we have, these are different parts of the store. The store is a boutique, it's not one rectangular space that you walk into. The mystery unfolds as you enter Simone, because there is an area which you can discover, you can, study it and enjoy the experience. We go to the next slide. So here we have the soft furnishings. So this is an entire floor dedicated to D-Decor home fabrics, which showcases a wide range of upholstery, drapery, and wall coverings. Bed bath solutions in varied colors and designs, and they're all beautifully curated and color coordinated personally by me in different areas. So here you have this is a different style. It's more heritage and less contemporary for the classic, customer. We showcase an array of innovative bespoke furniture as well, and decor concepts for every space. And the furniture displayed at the store includes the sofas, the armchairs, dining tables, consoles, bar units, mirrors, desks, and several other accent pieces. So they change every time. So again, we have more fabrics here. So this is a mustard and gray setting. So we have combined bath linen and upholstery fabrics, drapery fabrics different weights, different qualities, all aesthetically combined in this space. So this is a mustard and gray setting. Of course, it changes. So here we have a green setting, a blue setting, go to the next slide. Again, these are different artifacts. So we have an eclectic collection of artifacts and accessories that are both decorative and functional. So artifacts that add a timeless and contemporary appeal to our space at home and giving it a very luxurious and a sophisticated feel. So on display, we have an exclusive range of vases, bowls, candle holders, platters, lots of crystals, ceramic, glass, porcelain, stoneware, etc. And wood, stone, shell, resin, and more. We also have lights. So we have lighting solutions, lamps. As lights bring brightness and warms up any home space, it is essential part of the home decor. So at Simone, we have a varied range of table and floor lamps, ceiling and wall fixtures for the customers to choose from. So again, you have of course dinnerware, which you can see in the orange and white and gold setting, where we have an assortment of dinnerware in different colors, and this is a white and gold dinner table setting. And then we have even a bed and bath linen, as I've mentioned. We have an exquisite collection of linens and all of these different products, as you can see, bath linen, etc. They just add luxury to your home in different ways. So this is a very special slide because this was my first project, which was my home project. I was, of course, very excited to work with nationally acclaimed architect Hafiz Contractor, who designed my home for me in the quiet suburbs of Juhu, within the luxurious landscape and gardens of the area. So this home is very modern and contemporary, as you can see. We have sculptures and art and accent pieces which add luxury and glamour to the space. It's a white facade and large windows, so we have a lot of light that comes in, natural light. So this was the home that we built, and it was after we created this home, the story and the idea of Simone came into being, because we had friends and family, of course, appreciating what we had done, and they were all wondering where can we source these products here in Mumbai. And that's when I thought of creating the store Simone and bringing these products globally into the Simone store. So it began with this project, which was my first project, which was executed. It took 3 years to build and to the designing of. We go to the next slide. And so this was one of the projects, a show apartment, which we did at Rustomjee. And we, of course, it was a neutral, as per the brief of the client. We had done a neutral palette and very modern and contemporary in feel. And here we used, actually the floor is a tile which looks like wood. We used a neutral palette of furniture. We used lights, ultra luxurious lights to lux up the place. So this is what we did, one of our show flats. We'll go to the next slide. And this is more of the Rustomjee. We did bedroom, kitchen, bathroom. We completed this project in 2 months, 2 to 3 months. So it was really it was an effort by the team. We did it from start to finish. It was all very well, organized before we actually executed it. And the clients were happy. So this was done in 3 months. This is another home which we did in Bhavnagar in Gujarat for a client, which was a sprawling, estate of 8.5 acres. I was involved in the landscaping as well. It was very modern, contemporary. We did, we worked with barks of trees, and we worked with outdoor sculptures. The inside of the home, the next slide shows the inside as well. Of course, this is the outdoor at night setting. And the next slide, yes. So we did inside again, the client wanted a neutral setting. So again, as you can see, lots of metallic hints here and there, and leather in the living room. We have, of course, browns and grays and beiges. And so this was done for our client in Bhavnagar, one of the projects that we executed. Again, this was done during actually the COVID time. when it was again finished in record time. We took 1.5 years to complete the whole project, and we extended the square foot area. The client was very happy with what he was seeing. So we, as we went along, he gave us more scope of work to complete, and we finished the project in 1.5 years. The next slide, please. So this is again another project for Rustomjee. This was the second building which they gave us, where again here you see pops of color. It was a show apartment, which we did. You see the colors, which are very vibrant. We use floral decor and dinner table arrangements. You can see art, modern art. So we put this all together. Go to the next slide. Now, this was an event we did for AD, Architectural Digest. It was a design show in Mumbai where we set up a booth and we brought in an eclectic mix of decorative artifacts. We color coordinated the entire theme in blues and greens and whites and gold. As you see, the backdrop is the stone feature wall, which is characteristic of our store. We have it at our store. So we wanted to replicate the Simone store, a mini version. Of course, it's difficult to do that, but we did the best that we could. And this was just pre-COVID. I think it was in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, that we exhibited. So this was the AD design show. And the next slide, more pieces of furniture and artifacts, again displayed in the same show. You can see the mix of colors. And this was the next slide, yes, after this. This was a show we did at Food Hall, where we were asked to set up a breakfast table, a dinner table, and a lunch table. So we did 3 different themes. Of course, here we can see the breakfast table. And we have so many more photographs. It's difficult to put them all in the slide. But as we went along, this was the theme that we thought of. So this was Food Hall. And the next slide. So this was an event for Wedding Sutra. And it was the Influencer Award. So we had a table which we needed to curate with dinnerware, and the centerpiece was it was again a very naturally inspired concept with greens and whites and driftwood. And then we played with, we tried to create the Garden of Eden with this hints of gold and crystal. And this was a table we did for Wedding Sutra. And so now we go ahead for just to talk a little bit about decor solutions. So when we work with clients who come to us for a specific project, the first thing we ask, what are their requirements and what are their preferences? And based on that, we create a mood board. So here we have a few mood boards to show you. So of course, this is the red, deep red, and mood board, where we have just played with certain pieces of furniture, artifacts, color, and of course chips of color to show that what we are proposing for a particular area. We can go to the next slide, Sneha. And here is another color palette, softer blues. So again, we put these together. We propose furniture and decorative accessories. We see and we study the style the customer requires, or he is more leaning towards. And then, of course, this is just the first presentation. We edit and modify this, and finally, it can look like something else altogether. But this is what we start with. This is the starting point. And then, of course, the team, the expert team of the contractors step in, the team that I've been working with for the last 30 years now. And they start with the civil work and finish all the fixed furniture and the marble, stone, etc. before we import or handmade make the goods. We either manufacture them, some of them here in India, or we import furniture and artifacts and decorative accessories from abroad, and we complete the project. Again, here we work with timelines. We go to the next slide. So again, colors, orange. So we have several mood boards like these. We just picked a few just to see. We've put even a few pieces which are available at the Simone store. They have a code number. It just makes it easier for people to refer to them. We have this all showcased on our Instagram, social media as well. And we send emailers like these as well to our clients monthly, informing them of new arrivals and the new themes that we set up in the store. So again, you have different color combinations. You can see the furniture coming from different parts of the world and different sensibilities, all, coordinated through color. And, the palette is sometimes vibrant, sometimes more neutral, sometimes more pastel, sometimes more smart. So it depends totally on what the client is looking for. So this is the Simone store. Of course, everybody is welcome to visit at their convenience. I warmly invite you, and seeing the store personally and walking through the store is a one-of-a-kind experience, as the building is a landmark destination. It has a lot of history. There's a lot of historical significance attached to this building. And personally, it's close to my heart because it required a lot of persistence on my part, and effort, and continuous work with the team to get it started. And of course, it was an enjoyable journey, but I immensely I enjoyed every moment of it. And we keep working every day. It's been 8 years. We launched in 2014, and we are happy to look forward to new opportunities that come our way, and evolve and grow and learn. So that is what our endeavor is. So this is about the Simone store. If I can, it's difficult for me to put it all together in one session, but I think this is a little bit of what the store is all about, which I've shared with you today.
Thanks so much, Simone. Such an insightful session and such a really comprehensive, cohesive glimpse into not just how you work together and curated your store, but the way you function and you think like a designer. So, me as someone who has known you for quite some time too, I think it's quite it's quite eye-opening for me to see how you have also kind of grown and diversified, as a designer. I wanted to ask you first, is there any advice that you would like to give someone, because you are not just a designer, you're a curator, you're a stylist, you're now, I just learned that you've done landscaping also for that project. So you're a landscaping designer as well. You've really diversified. Is there, if you had to give any advice to designers who are looking to be entrepreneurs, who want to set up their own business, just like you have, what advice would you give them?
Well, this is from the heart, so I'm going to say this. I would advise, or in my humble way, advise people, all my audience who's listening, to pursue your dreams and ambitions with a passion to excel. Endeavor to make your mark in this world and strive to be the best at whatever it is you choose to do. Travel, read, and draw inspiration from design in every form. Have an acute eye for detail. Never stop learning and growing. You evolve every day. Embrace opportunity and learn from failure. Use the digital tools and design software intelligently that is available to realize your creativity and to scale your outputs. Work as a team collaboratively. And for entrepreneurs, I would ask them to delegate tasks with timelines to your team. Motivate your workforce constructively. And last but not the least, but very important for all, do not compromise on your work ethic and ideals, no matter how tempting the opportunity that may come your way. So these are a few mantras that have helped me live my life and come this far. And I am still learning, still growing, and look forward to exciting beginnings and opportunities in the years to come.
I think that's so great that you've talked about growth, because that's what I wanted to ask you next. And I'm sure that a lot of you who are present here, who are from the design community and who are just as curious about design as I am, as non-designers too. I'm very interested to know how have you grown, or what is the kind of experience you have kind of garnered, because you are also part of D-Decor. You run D-Decor as brand and marketing head and as design head too. So how has your experience as being part of being part of D-Decor, and how's that kind of supported your business as part of Simone, Naturally Inspired? How has that experience kind of aided Simone's growth as a luxury brand?
Well, when you create a new brand, Sneha, the first question that comes to your mind is, what is the differentiating factor?
Right.
Prior to embarking on the Simone journey, it was my dream to set up a unique and qualitative enterprise, an affordable yet luxurious offering in a visually delightful setting that would cater to the needs and home requirements of the end consumer. Simone was conceptualized with that thought in mind. Then there were other points to be considered, such as where is the void in the market? Who is my target audience? Where do I want to position the brand price-wise? Which requirement and customer needs do I want to cater to? Visual presentation, whether it is in tangible or in digital form, were important to convey a theme or a thought or an emotion. And based on this thought, we created the curated settings that you see in Simone. So this is, something which I learned during my journey at DDecor, and I learn every day because the process of learning doesn't stop. You are exposed to so many different situations and people, and you learn from there. And I kind of incorporate both ideas into both the brands. So from Simone to DDecor Home Fabrics, and from DDecor to Simone. So it's like cross advantage, learning from both brands.
Has your since you talked about learning, has and of course all of us have been through a lot of ups and downs because of the pandemic. What was your experience as a curator pre and post pandemic, and what has changed for you as a curator and designer?
Well, the importance of home became more apparent post pandemic to all.
Yeah.
Hence, I have now become more focused. My approach has been more focused with regards to my selections abroad. I have begun staggering the flow of merchandise into Simone on a monthly basis rather than in bulk, which was the case prior to the pandemic. This way, I study which type of goods are selling, the customer requirements, and source them accordingly. We are price competitive, as we like to refresh our goods consistently. This way, the store remains refreshed all through the year. And I lay emphasis on the utility aspect of goods sold rather than just the decorative element, because this is very important, the functionality. Clients are looking for that. If the product satisfies both, then bingo, we have it. We have introduced several promotions as well as marketing initiatives so that the customer gets good value. So these are some of the things that were, my key learnings during the pandemic, and I've tried to incorporate the best that I could post-pandemic.
Yeah. Speaking of, post-pandemic, I think, definitely a lot of people across the gamut are investing in a home experience that is exclusive to them because they're spending so much time at home. Are there any specific trends that have caught your eye and that have really kind of either kind of pushed you to think in a different direction? Because when I was looking at your visual mood boards, for instance, the color mood boards, for instance, there is definitely a vibrance, because I know that you have your color palette of choice is neutrals, natural neutrals, and this introduction of pop color is also very interesting to see. So yeah, just wanted to understand from you, have you noticed any significant buying trends from a luxury consumer standpoint?
Well, I do notice that our customers lean towards buying more contemporary style home offerings.
Yeah.
And color palette at Simone is varied, as you know, and colorful because we cater to different tastes. However, neutrals are consistently doing well, so that remains. We always have a section of the store where we show our neutral settings and offerings. At the Simone store, we have curated our offerings into room settings of dining, living, either to set trends or assist the imagination of the end user. Our customer tends to pick what they like from these curations, one or more products that appeal to their tastes and serve their needs that fit into their home. However, we do have situations when the interior designer is accompanying the customer, and sometimes he or she picks up the entire setting, if it fits. So it varies. It varies from situation to situation. The idea is we must have something for all. So that is our continuous endeavor.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think there is definitely a trend veering towards people wanting to buy a complete set, a cohesive set, as opposed to like say select items from a collection. So that's interesting to know too. I think I have a few audience questions coming in, Simone. So I'm going to take the liberty of asking some of them, and most of them are related to trends also. And your first choice. So Amy asks, what do you feel is the one decor item that can really make a home feel luxurious?
Okay, so I will say here that home furnishings adds a lot of color and can change your home at a very affordable cost and transform the look and feel. So if you're looking to spend, a sum of money, and
Yeah.
you want it to look luxurious, and yet you don't want to extend beyond one's budget, I think furnishings can do the trick for you. You won't have, and it can transform the entire space. So this is where I would, because if it's imaginatively used, creatively used, combining colors, textures, contrasting them, creating a soothing palette, or depending on the space and what you want to convey, you can really do so much with home furnishings. So I would say that is the easiest and quickest way also of rather than breaking your home or doing civil work, or just one piece will not make so much of a difference. The home
Yeah.
furnishings is something that I would tend to purchase. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more actually, because furnishings is also something that you can play around with, experiment with so much, and that gives you a liberty to, kind of mix and match the way you want, depending on your mood or depending on the season.
In a
So
bedroom, you can just change, your bedspread with some decorative cushions, and you just have your, your linen, and it just
yeah,
gives with a nice bright color. It just gives a nice feeling to your bedroom, very inviting, very fresh, and you don't need to do anything more. So in your living space, you can just add maybe pops of color through cushions,
yeah,
and you don't need to reupholster the whole place. You can just add a rug. So rugs is again a very good, a way of adding color to a space, and just some soft furnishings, and the whole space can be transformed.
yeah. I think speaking of rugs, since you mentioned rugs, since you mentioned that you really like to, go beyond the conventional use of, just using rug on a floor or on a surface, a flooring surface. How do you go about choosing a rug? What do you look for when you choose a rug, either for your client or for you or your workspace? How do you go about it?
First and foremost, the rug design and style must fit into the interior space of the area that it's being purchased for.
Mm-hmm.
The composition of the carpet or rug matters, as delicate materials cannot be used in high traffic areas or zones. So the touch and feel, the softness is also to be considered depending on the usage. If it's for bedroom, more soft. Depending on public areas, you can't use delicate carpets.
Yeah.
If it's going to be pre-ordered, then of course size can always be specified. Durability, wash and care are other aspects that need to be considered while choosing a rug. And again, it depends on what style of rug you want. More formal and sophisticated can be more maybe a silk, or there's a formality in the design. More organic is more casual, young. So colors, again, depending on the style of the interiors. So you can really play a lot with interiors using rugs. It's an important element of decor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually quite keen to know now. I think this would be a good segue into our next segment, where we actually asked Simone to so we shared so Cocoon shared a selection of rugs with Simone, and we asked her how she would play around with it, how she would utilize these rugs or style these rugs and stuff. So Sabiha, if you could please have a rug selection slide, please. So what you're going to see now is a selection of 4 Cocoon rugs where I'm going to ask Simone some questions about each of these rugs and how she would style it or use it in her space. Yeah, can everyone see? Simone, can you see the screen where you can see the 4 rugs? Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, is there a particular piece that you would use in a certain kind of project, whether it's kind of like your nature inspired, kind of expansive villa, or kind of like a upscale city penthouse apartment. Is there a rug where or any of these rugs, do you see them used in any kind of project that meets your aesthetic and style?
And I can say something about each of these rugs if you want.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The top one on the left, of course, has a splash of color, so it's more contemporary and modern. It can go very beautifully in a home like mine, which has a lot of whites, and these are splashes of color, which kind of just bring color out, vibrance out. The one right below, which is more neutral, is a more neutral setting. It fits beautifully in the naturally inspired concept of Simone. Of course, it's more contemporary again, and there's a designer in Europe. Her name is Kelly Hoppins. She reminds me, uses these kind of rugs, which are neutral. And the one on the right top is more ethnic. It's got a nice. It's very smart. So it's got a nice, it's got structure, and yet it's quite it reminds me of a designer called Christopher Kane, who had created a fall collection where, as you know, home decor trickles down through fashion. So concepts that are introduced in fashion, sooner or later you see them on the pages of home decor. So I feel this kind of look with that kind of carpet with some color in the room will also be very interesting, just as a contrast. So you can splash. I'm wearing something like black and white with a splash of today. You can splash any color you like. It can be lime green, it can be mustard yellow, it can be orange, any color. It could be red with that kind of carpet, which is the black and white carpet. And the carpet below is the traditional carpet. It reminds me more of a European style setting. And this is, of course, more sophisticated, elegant, softer palette of colors. It's classic. It never goes out of style, and it gives you an old world, feel in form and appearance.
Like a heritage inspired space.
Yes, Zareen Khan, she used to be, in the 80s and 90s, even a very well-known interior designer in India, and she would use lots of these kind of carpets in her projects. Or because this is an old world but classic. You can't go wrong with a design like this. So each of these carpets have a different style, and depending on your home and your taste.
Since you mentioned that each of them have unique styles, is there something that you would take, Simone, and would you hang it somewhere in your home?
Yes, the first one on the left, because my home is very in style and feel. It's all white with splashes of color in different rooms. There is abstract art and bronze sculptures and modern oversized furniture, which is all in white or light grays. So this carpet would serve as an offset, and it would bring vibrancy to the room, like I mentioned. And of course, decorative artifacts to match can always be placed here and there. You can just pick it up from this carpet and play around with it in the room.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, for those of you who joined us too, if you have a preference of a carpet and where you would see it fit, whether in your space or any of your client spaces, meeting their aesthetic and style, please feel free to share in the comments. Yeah, I personally like Multiverse too. I think the splash of color is beautiful, and I think it's something. It almost reminds me of like an abstract surrealist painting, which I can hang on the wall.
You can pick colors from this carpet and actually, throw cushions on sofas. You can have, of course, decorative artifacts thrown around the space. You can have an accent chair or even a sofa, which is upholstered in any color picked from this carpet. You can even use it, a color from here for drapes, maybe just not the functional curtains, but side curtains, if you like. So there's so much you can do, with a colorful piece like this in the room. So it depends on how you want to style it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that you would do to especially with the carpet on the bottom right, where you said that you would see using it in slightly heritage inspired spaces, more tradition. Yeah.
You could even place it as a wall hanging on a decorative a rod with decorative ends. I could place it behind a sofa,
Yeah.
just to add a little bit of a different element to a neutral sofa. It could be used even depending on the weight, and texture. It could be used on a bed. If it's lightweight, very lightweight, just as
Yeah.
a pillow on top of a bed. Sometimes you can use them as panels, for separating panels, maybe for wardrobes. So different ways of using the carpet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just lastly, Simone, I think we're almost towards the end, and just wanted to again remind everyone that if you'd like to ask Simone any more questions, please feel free to share. I had one thing to ask it, while you were going through your very well put together presentation. Want to ask you if there is any specific things that you look for, because you like we all know that you are an expert curator of beautiful objects or beautiful things. Is there something that you look for when you pick an object, especially when you're going abroad, when you're traveling, and you are very very selectively looking at certain objects, because you are sourcing from these international brands and you're bringing it to a Indian luxury consumer. So what are the kind of things that you look for when you are especially curating, for an Indian audience?
Yes. You see, when I travel to design shows abroad,
Yeah.
look at, there are 4 criteria which need to be satisfied before I select a product and purchase it or order it in. Of course, the first being visual aesthetic appeal, how attractive it is. 2 is pricing, which is very important because
Yeah.
we have to be price sensitive. 3 is the functionality. What is the utility of the product, how it can be used. 4 is the durability. And based on that, I select the product. Now, I make sure what I buy is is unique and one of a kind, because there are no duplicates at Store Simone. We sell one of each kind. And I look for these hidden jewels, as they call it, are probably manufactured or designed by artisans and designers who are from all different parts of the world, and are showcasing these products at the design shows, which I frequent. And I select these very unique products, bring them into the store, and then curate a setting using these products. So you have a lot of accent pieces which involve furniture, as you can see in the presentation, decorative artifacts, lamps, even rugs sometimes, wall art, lots of different decorative home offerings, but all very thoughtfully put together, conceptually, put together with a thematic setting. So this is what I really look for. I look for unique products and the 4 criteria that need to be fulfilled before we bring it in. And then we curate the setting at the store, which of course changes from time to time. As products get sold and new products come in, the settings keep changing. So, and we shift things around. So sometimes we're highlighting a furniture piece, sometimes we're highlighting a lighting fixture, or maybe sometimes just a rug. So it all depends and changes. And that is the beauty of Simone, because every time that the customer walks into the store, he is excited to see something new. The store looks totally refreshed. And that is our endeavor, to keep it looking refreshed and bringing new products in, on a monthly basis.
Designer, where do you see yourself, in the next couple of years? Because you've gone from, again, from Decor, starting with designing and creative collections for furnishings, to curating and designing for Simone, your brand. What is next for you? Do we perhaps see maybe more comprehensive collections from you, where you're curating or designing every single piece? Like, is there a dream project for you that you want to fulfill in the near future?
Well, honestly, Sneha, there are 2 parts of my schedule these days. One is, of course, designing collections, fabric collections for Decor Home Fabrics. So there, of course, right from sourcing artwork, selecting artwork from design studios from Europe We decide on which quality we want to translate those artworks into, and then we color them. We put together collections in catalogs in which we take to international trade shows. We sell them, even locally in India through our home distribution business. So that's for D-Decor. And I look also into brand strategy and the presentation of these fabrics into catalogs and hangers, etc., as well as coloring and design and choosing artwork. So that is for the D-Decor. And that will go on because there is no end to the work that comes my way. And I'm passionate about what I do. I've been doing it for the last 30 years. So that will keep going. We keep changing colors, designs, styles as and when for the Indian market and for export. For Simone, of course, the design shows that I go to annually, there are two that I visit, which is the Maison et Objet in Paris and Salon du Mobile in Italy. And of course, like I said, we pick up different products from different companies, bring it all together. So for me, between these two brands, what I want to say to the audience is that balance and discipline are very, very important to note. Because if, maintaining a pre-organized schedule for each day, ensuring that it ensures that you're both time efficient and productive. And I work with loyal and experienced teams in both these enterprises who are well trained and they're efficient in their respective tasks. And this enhances my work output. I balance my week between the Simone store and the D-Decor office. And I make use of my commuting time. It's because they both at two different ends of the city. I answer my calls and send my messages during my commuting times. My weekends I spend with my family and friends, and I exercise daily to keep me fit so I can deal with the challenges and daily issues. So I think if you're well balanced and you have discipline, you can achieve two different businesses, because that's what I've been doing for the last 30 years and enjoying it. Of course, Simone is a new baby, it's just 8 years old, but now, I'm managing both to the best of my ability, but enjoying it. I must say, enjoying it immensely. I feel very blessed with the opportunity because it's
that's important. Yeah.
and evolving and growing.
Yeah, that's so important, right? Having the passion to do it is one, but doing it with a sense of discipline and doing it with also that dedication to ensure that nothing is completed with just a half-heartedness or so I think, yeah, it's really great that you've been able to achieve that and still have time for yourself. Achieving that fine balance is sometime an art itself. So thanks so much for.
I believe if you love what you do, it
Yeah.
won't work at all. So it's very important to find what you love and then pursue it with a passion to excel, and enjoy the process, because the journey is always important. It's equally important. It's not just the end result. So sometimes you may not see success, but with failure there is a learning. So if you don't get to where you need to be, you learn from there and get stronger and wiser, and you pick up from and you do it better the next time. That's my own experience that has taught me.
Wise words. Thank you so much, Simone. I think on that note, just to add, as you can see on your screen, Simone talked about how she would play around with these rugs from Cocoon, but you can do that playfulness for yourself because Cocoon is currently running a sale right now. The brand has always stood for design innovation, empowering artisan communities. Luckily, their creations, their beautiful hand-woven creations are available across their stores in Mumbai, Kolkata, Jaipur, Bangalore, and also online. So if you visit their store, visit any of their physical stores or go online right now, you can currently avail a 30% discount, up to 30% discount. So do check it out when you can. And Simone has already given some fantastic ideas about how she could create and play around with this space. But we hope that leaves you inspired to do the same thing. So thank you so much again, Simone, for your time. Your presentation was insightful. Thank you so much for answering our questions too, and for playing with us with the rapid fire and with playing with the rugs as well.
Thank you, Sneha, Mrinalini, Smriti, for having me. And thank you so much, the audience, for listening, for your time. And once again, my apologies for starting late. And look forward to seeing you all at the store, Simone. Thank you.
Just lastly, thank you also to Smriti and Team Cocoon for having us curate this. and officially kickstarting In a Cocoon with, where we invite experts like Simone to talk about their process, talk about how they go about, pursuing their passion, but with such persistence and determination, and without having to compromise on creativity and innovation. So thank you so much again, Simone. Thank you, Team Cocoon. We're going to come back again with the second episode very soon. So if you're following Cocoon on Instagram and Facebook, please ensure that your notifications are on, because we're going to be announcing the second episode very soon. What you can do is, if you'd like to know more about the second session, about the next session, please write to us or reach out to us on Instagram, and we'll send you a link to pre-register so that you don't miss out. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks so much for your time. Mrinalini or Smriti, if you want to thank everyone, if you want to say a few words, please feel free to add.
No, thank you all. I think that it was a great presentation, Simone, and very insightful. And thank you for thoughts and your experiences. We really appreciate that. I think it's been a great start to the series, so we're very excited for you to have kind of set a certain standard for what's to come next.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being with us this evening.
Thank you, and wishing all of you all the very best. To Team Cocoon, to Sneha, Mrinalini, and Smriti. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Simone, for your time. I think it was a very insightful session, and it was great learnings for me as well. Like, I completely resonate with the fact that you mentioned that you learn every day and you learn different things from different people, which is why the entire purpose of doing the series, was. So I think I had a great learning time with you, Simone, as well. So thank you.
Thanks for your patience. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks everyone. Have a good weekend and see you next week. See you in the next episode.
Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.